Letters from the Void. When Sarah Miller moved to the quiet town of Haven Ridge, she expected a quiet life. After the bustle of New York City, all she wanted was peace and fresh air. She rented an old house on the outskirts, a two-story house with peeling white paint and a porch overlooking an overgrown field. The landlord warned her that the house had been empty for a long time, but Sarah only smiled. The emptiness didn't bother her. For the first week, everything was quiet. She arranged her bedroom, developed the habit of drinking coffee on the porch every morning, and reading in the evenings. But one morning, a letter appeared in her mailbox. The envelope was old, yellowed, without a stamp or return address. Her name was written on it, Sarah Miller. Inside was a piece of paper with crooked, inky letters. Sarah, can you hear me? Please don't ignore me. It's dark here. It's empty. But I know you can read this. Don't let me disappear. Sarah reread the lines several times. It must have been a stupid joke. But the handwriting looked so desperate, as if written by a hand trembling with fear. The next day, she looked in the drawer again, and found the letter again. I write every day so I don't get lost. There's no time here. There are no doors. Only emptiness. But I see your house. I know you're reading. Her fingers grew cold. No one in town knew her. She hadn't told anyone where she lived. With each passing day, the letters grew longer. The author, unsigned, described a strange place, endless corridors without light or shadow, voices whispering from the darkness, doors leading back into the same emptiness. In one letter, he wrote, I hear the creaking of floorboards in your house. Please don't think I'm dangerous. I just want to go back. But the door will only open when you agree. Sarah dropped the letter in the drawer and locked the door. But a sound woke her that night. Something rustled in the living room. She went downstairs and saw the envelope on the floor, right under the door, though the crack was too narrow for it. You've already opened it. I can smell the air of your world. Tomorrow I'll be closer. Sarah dropped the envelope. Her heart pounded. She wanted to run, but her feet felt rooted to the floor. In that moment, she realized, letters didn't just come out of nowhere. They were an invitation. And invitations always require a response. The next morning, Sarah hesitated to open the mailbox. But when she looked out the window, she noticed the door was already ajar. Something white was visible inside. Gathering her courage, she finally took out the envelope. Her name was no longer on it. Instead, it read, I am here. Sarah trembled. She tore open the envelope and read, I see your hands when you read. I hear your breathing. There's only a thin film between you and me. Tonight, it will break. She threw the letter into the fireplace, but the paper didn't burn. The ink smudged and turned into new words, scratched directly by the fire. Don't reject me. That evening, the electricity in the house began to flicker. Every time the light went out, Sarah felt the room change. The walls seemed to recede, the floor seemed to sink, and a hollow darkness emerged, emitting cold drafts. Another envelope lay on the floor by the door. It contained a short message. Come out onto the porch. I'm waiting. Sarah clutched her phone in her hand, thinking about calling the police, but she knew no one would believe letters that came from nowhere. She opened the door. The rain was drizzling gently, and there was no one on the porch. Only another envelope on the railing. Inside was a drawing, her own house, but without windows or doors. Just a blank box, standing in the middle of nowhere. The door slammed behind her. Sarah turned, and her heart sank. All the windows were gone. All the doors were gone. The inside of the house was exactly like the drawing. She rushed from room to room, but everywhere she looked, the walls were smooth. Then she noticed, a small crack had appeared in the living room floor, as if cut by a knife. A chill emanated from it, and a whisper came from it. "Sarah, open wider. It's me." She realized, the emptiness was already inside the house. Bringing herself together, she grabbed the knife and tried to widen the crack. But as soon as the blade touched the floorboards parted. A passage into darkness opened before her. A silhouette stood there below. Human, but distorted, as if drawn by a crooked hand. "Thank you," said a voice from the depths. "Now I'm not alone." Sarah screamed and jumped back, but the floor beneath her collapsed. She fell into darkness, where fragments of letters flickered, thousands of envelopes swirling in an endless vortex. The last thing she heard was her own voice, spoken by someone else. "I've been writing to you all this time. I was waiting for you to open the door." The next morning, a neighbor passing by noticed the house was empty. A stack of envelopes lay on the mailbox. All of them were addressed to Sarah Miller. And inside each one was the same sentence. "I'm here. And I don't want to be alone anymore."